Picture this, Beijing's Tiananmen Square. Giant screens, marching troops, tanks rolling. And at the front row, Kim Jong Un, Vladimir Putin, and Xi Jinping, together.
That image alone is enough to make world leaders sit up straight. Three of the most controversial figures on one stage.
Exactly. And this isn't just any event. It's China's Victory Day Parade, marking 80 years since Japan's surrender in World War II.
But here's the twist. This is Kim Jong Un's first multilateral international meeting ever.
That's historic. For decades, North Korean leaders have avoided these kinds of global stages. Kim usually stays in his bubble. Now, he's stepping into the spotlight.
And who's by his side? Vladimir Putin. That alone sends a clear message. North Korea and Russia are closer than ever, militarily and politically.
Which makes this a diplomatic win for Xi Jinping. He gets to showcase himself as the power broker, the man who can host both Putin and Kim in Beijing.
And let's be honest, the timing is no accident. Washington has been trying to strike deals with Moscow over Ukraine. By hosting Putin and Kim, Xi is saying, you want influence, come through me.
President Trump won't be there, of course, but he did say this week that he wants to meet Kim again. That's classic Trump. He knows the photo op value of sitting with the North Korean leader.
Meanwhile, Xi is getting his own photo op, and it might be even bigger. Think about it. One frame, three leaders, China, Russia, North Korea, standing shoulder to shoulder.
That picture alone could shift narratives in global politics. It's soft power wrapped in military pageantry.
Speaking of pageantry, this parade is massive. Tens of thousands of troops, 45 different units of China's military, hundreds of aircraft, tanks, anti-drone systems.
And for the first time, China will fully showcase its new military structure. It's not just about looking strong. It's about telling the world, we're ready for the future of warfare.
But let's not forget the symbolism of Kim showing up. The last time a North Korean leader attended a Chinese parade? 1959.
Wow, that's more than 60 decades ago. So his presence now is a major upgrade, from sending an envoy in 2015 to standing center stage in 2025.
And Beijing is framing this as traditional friendship. But make no mistake, it's about leverage.
Leverage with Moscow, leverage with Pyongyang, and leverage in any negotiation with Washington. Now here's another curveball. South Korea's new president, Lee Jae-myung, was invited.
Yes, at first, he declined. Seoul said they'd only send the parliament speaker, but now people are asking, will Lee reconsider?
If he does, it could be explosive. Imagine the first face-to-face meeting between Kim and the South Korean president since 2019.
But also, imagine if Kim snubs him in public. That would be humiliating. Risky optics for a brand new president.
And the optics matter. Think about the photo op again. Putin, Xi, Kim, and possibly Lee standing together. That's complicated for Seoul, especially when most Western leaders are staying away in protest of Russia's war. Exactly. Western capitals are avoiding the event. No Biden, no Macron, no Scholz. Just one EU leader, Slovakia's Robert Fico, is expected. Meanwhile, Southeast Asian leaders are showing up. Indonesia's president, Malaysia's prime minister, even Myanmar's military ruler who relies heavily on Chinese trade and aid.
That's telling. It shows China's pivot, deepening ties with neighbors in Asia while Europe keeps its distance.
And this is the diplomatic jackpot for Xi Jinping. He can walk into any future summit with Trump or any Western leader, armed with insights from both Putin and Kim.
That's huge, because behind the scenes, she wants to project confidence. Hosting this event says, I am the center of gravity in Asia. Now let's talk about what this parade actually looks like. Tens of thousands of soldiers marching in perfect formation across Tiananmen Square. Veterans honored, new weapons on display.
And remember, it's not just spectacle, it's messaging. Every tank, every missile, every jet broadcasts China's readiness.
Analysts around the world will dissect it frame by frame. How many drones? Which missile variants? What does the new force structure reveal?
But here's the bigger story. While analysts count the weapons, the world is watching the leaders. The real fireworks are in the VIP box.
Putin, isolated by Western sanctions, standing proudly with Xi. Kim, long cut off from global diplomacy, finally stepping onto an international stage.
And Xi smiling in the middle, looking like the kingmaker.
It's powerful theater. And the audience isn't just in Beijing, it's global. Washington, Brussels, Tokyo, all eyes will be on that balcony.
So what does it mean? 3 things. 1, Xi cements his role as host and broker. 2, Putin gets legitimacy from being treated as a guest of honor. 3, Kim elevates himself from isolated dictator to international player.
And maybe a 4th, South Korea's dilemma, to attend or not to attend, to risk a public snub or stay away and miss the moment.
High stakes either way.
So next week isn't just a parade, it's a statement of alliances, a show of force, and a battle of optics.
And for Xi Jinping, it's a chance to remind the world when it comes to Asia's future, all roads lead to Beijing.
You've been listening to The Voice Vista,
where global headlines meet human context.
Stay with us, because sometimes the most powerful message isn't in the speech, but in the photo.